Hello and welcome to College Success. My name is Matthew Poole, and today we're going over Chapter 2, Knowing Yourself as a Learner. Here's what we're going to be going over today. 2.1, the power to learn. 2.2, the motivated learner. 2.3, it's all in the mindset. 2.4, learning styles. 2.5, personality types. 2.6, applying what you know about learning. And 2.7, hidden curriculum. Here are 4 statements to consider. Number 1, learning for me is easy. I don't even have to think about it. Number 2, I have a preferred learning style. Number 3, if I can't learn something right away, I have difficulty staying with it. And number 4, I think my teachers are the most significant aspect of my life. If you relate to one of those 4 statements, let me know in the comments. Okay, discover the different types of learning and your learning practices. Make informed and effective learning choices in regards to personal engagement and motivation. Identify and apply the learning benefits of a growth mindset. Evaluate and make informed decisions about learning styles and learning skills. Recognize how personality type models influence learning and utilize that knowledge to improve your own learning. Identify the impact of outside circumstances on personal learning experiences and develop strategies to compensate for them. And finally, recognize the presence of the hidden curriculum and how to navigate it. This is all information we'll be looking into today. 2.1, the power to learn. Here are some questions to consider. What actually happens to me when I learn something? Am I aware of different types of learning? Do I approach studying or practicing differently depending on the desired outcome? Know yourself as a learner. How we take in information about the world around us, how we acquire new knowledge, and how we can be certain what we learn is correct. What is the nature of learning? Concepts that influence how we learn, attitude and motivation toward learning, types of learning, methods of learning, and your own preferences for learning. All learning is not the same though. Let's take a look at Table 2.1. We're going to go over a category of learning, the skill acquired, and example 1 and example 2. So first category, create, skill acquired, produce new or original work. Example 1 includes compose a piece of music. Example 2, write a paper on Charles that draws a new conclusion about his reign. Category of learning, evaluate. Skill acquired, justify or support an idea or decision. First example, make critical decisions about the notes that make up a melody, what works, what doesn't, and why. Example 2, make arguments that support the idea that Charles was a good ruler. Next, analyze. Skill acquired is drawing connections. Example 1, play the specific notes that are found in the key of A. Example 2, compare and contrast the historical differences between the reign of Charles and his grandfather, Charlemagne. Next is apply. Skill acquired, use information in new ways. First example includes use knowledge to play several notes that sound good together. And example 2, use the information to write a historical account on the reign of Charles. Second to last, understand/comprehend. Skill acquired, explain ideas or concepts. Example 1, understand the relationship between the musical notes and how to play each on a musical instrument. Example 2, explain the historical events that enabled Charles to become emperor. And lastly, remember, skill acquired, recall facts and basic concepts. First example, memorize notes on a musical scale. Example 2, recall that Charles the Bald was Holy Roman Emperor from 875 to 877 CE. 2.2, the motivated learner. Questions to consider. How do different types of motivation affect my learning? What is resilience and grit? How can I apply the uses and gratification theory, or UGT, to make decisions about my learning? And how do I prevent negative bias from hindering learning? Resilience and grit. Grit can be defined as a personal perseverance toward a task or goal. In a 2007 study, Angela Duckworth and colleagues found that individuals with high grit were able to maintain motivation in learning tasks despite failures. The first step in applying grit is to adopt an attitude that looks directly to the end goal as the only acceptable outcome. Keeping grit in mind, going GRIT, Table 2.2, growth. Your propensity to seek and consider new ideas, additional alternatives, different approaches, and fresh perspectives. Resilience, your capacity to respond to constructively and ideally make use of all kinds of adversity. Instinct, your gut level capacity to pursue the right goals in the best and smartest ways. Tenacity, the degree to which you persist, commit to, stick with, and go after whatever you choose to achieve. How do you get grit? Number one, pursue what interests you. Personal interest is a great motivator. Number two, practice until you can do it, and then keep practicing. Number three, find a purpose in what you do. Number four, have hope in what you are doing. And number five, surround yourself with gritty people. The uses and gratification model. We are able to consciously make learning choices based on our own identified needs and what we hope to gain by that learning. In his book by Key Themes in Media Theory, Dan Lafley presents the UGT model, according to its original authors, as a single sentence that divides each area of influence into the following concerns. Number one, social and psychological origins of needs which generate expectations of the mass media or other sources which lead to differential patterns of media exposure, resulting in needs gratification and other unintended consequences. What to do with UGT? UGT asks, what is it that motivates you to learn something? What need does it fulfill? What do you expect to have happen with certain learning activities? How can you choose the right learning activities to better ensure you meet your needs and expectations? What other things might result from your choices? Combating negative bias. Some level of worry and concern is natural, but an overwhelming amount of negative thoughts about yourself, including doubt in your abilities and place in school, can impede your learning and stifle your success. You can develop strategies to recognize and overcome these feelings. Be aware of any negative bias. Focus on the positive before you begin. Purposefully focus on successes and keep a gratitude and accomplishment journal. 2.3. It's all about the mindset. Here are some questions to consider. What is a growth mindset, and how does it affect my learning? What are performance goals versus learning goals? We have performance goal traits and learning goal traits. We have a fixed versus growth mindset. The research-based model of these two mindsets by Carol Dweck. So if we're looking at figure 2.11 to the right, fixed mindset, when it comes to beliefs about human potential versus growth mindset, a fixed mindset would say everyone is born with certain skills and aptitudes, whereas a growth mindset would say with effective strategies and time, people can improve their skills and aptitudes. With effort and difficulty, a fixed mindset would say abilities and knowledge that come easily indicate natural talent, and that if something isn't easy, it cannot be learned. A growth mindset would say that the effort itself is a key element of gaining knowledge and mastery. When it comes to challenges and obstacles, with a fixed mindset, they generally avoid challenges and see obstacles as signs they are in the wrong direction. Whereas a growth mindset seek out new challenges and see obstacles as problems to solve and ways to grow. With mistakes and failures, a fixed mindset hides or makes excuses for mistakes. They become discouraged and frustrated by failure. Whereas a growth mindset, they take ownership of mistakes and understand that failure often leads to learning and long-term success. With feedback, criticism, and suggestions, a fixed mindset would reject negative feedback and can become defensive, likely focusing on positive feedback. Whereas the growth mindset appreciates the perspectives of others and welcomes candid feedback. And finally, the outlook on the future, where a fixed mindset would say success is limited to a few specific areas along a firmly defined pathway. A growth mindset says that success is possible in many areas. And once individuals create their own learning pathways. 2.4 Learning Styles. Here are some questions to consider. What are learning styles, and do they really work? What opportunities and resources are available for students with disabilities? Learning styles include visual, oral, and kinesthetic. Knowing and taking advantage of it all. The problem with relying on learning styles comes from thinking that just one defines your needs. What about students with disabilities? Students with disabilities are sometimes the most informed when it comes to making decisions about their own learning. Even though a particular disability may make attending college more difficult, awareness on the part of the government, learning institutions, and the students themselves has brought about a great deal of change over the years. Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act of 1973 protects students, quote, with a physical or mental impairment which substantially limits one or more major life events. In the Americans with Disability Act of 1990, also known as ADA. Legal rights of students with disabilities. ADA accommodations are named after the American with Disabilities Act. Recordings of class lectures, transcription by in-class note takers, text readers or other technologies that can deliver content in another format, test or assessment accommodations, interpreter services and Braille transcriptions, physical access accommodations, and accommodations of time and due dates. 2.5 Personality types and learning. Here are some questions to consider. Can the Myers-Briggs test be used to identify personality traits and learning styles? Is there a real correlation between personality styles and learning? What is the impact on learning with work that you enjoy? Let's look at the Myers-Briggs, identifying personality traits and styles. We have the Myers-Briggs system, which includes multiple personalities or 16 personalities, where you can Google the Myers-Briggs test and take it for yourself. I really encourage you to do. I think it can be quite eye-opening. Now, there are 4 categories that you're going to receive a score in. You're going to either receive extroverted versus introverted, intuition versus sensing, feeling versus thinking, and judging versus perceiving. So here are all 16 of the Myers-Briggs personalities that you may get a score for. And you can Google this. You can even find celebrities that share similar Myers-Briggs scores as you do. I think it's a fun activity. It can be eye-opening, and you may even discover what you may be interested in as a career or a job down the road. The impact of personality styles on learning. You should not constrain your own learning activities based on a predetermined model. I am an ESTJ, so I'm only at my best when I learn a certain way. Or I rely on intuition, so a science course is not for me. The impact of work you enjoy. For a final word on personality types and learning styles, there's no denying that there are going to be different approaches you enjoy more than others. Making decisions about your own learning. Make mistakes safe. Make everything problem-centered. Make it occupation-related. Managing your time. And instructors as learning partners. The hidden curriculum. Here are some questions to consider. What is the hidden or invisible curriculum? And how can I work with the hidden curriculum to prevent negative results? So the hidden curriculum includes prevailing opinions, classroom circumstances, and institutional systems. Rethinking. Recall the 4 statements that you have evaluated at the beginning of this chapter. See below. Have you changed your mind about any of them? Or do you intend to work on changing any of them? If you answered no to either or both, why do you feel no change is needed? Let me know in the comments. As a quick reference, learning for me is easy. I don't even have to think about it. I have a preferred learning style. If I can't learn something right away, I have difficulty staying with it. I think my teachers are the most significant aspects of my learning. This will conclude Chapter 2 of College Success. With regard to the license, this is an OpenStax ancillary resource and is of property of Rice University under a CC by 4.0 or Attribution International License. It may be reproduced or modified, but must be attributed to OpenStax, Rice University, and any changes must be noted. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one for Chapter 3. Bye-bye.